fans, and welcome to a special episode where we're going to talk about Donald Duck's super alter ego, Paperinik, or Phantom Duck. He does have a secret spy alter ego, Double O Duck, but we'll cover him another time. Yep, before Disney ever bought Marvel, they had their very own Avenger, the Duck Avenger. Many American Duck fans may not be familiar with the Duck Avenger, and understandably so. Donald Duck didn't receive his superhero mantle until 1969, and in Italy, and even then he wasn't quite a superhero. Back in '69, author Elisa Penna created the identity of Paperinik alongside cartoonist Guido Martina when the executive director of the Topolino, or Mickey Mouse comics, wanted to create a Mickey Mouse version of Superman. The role was instead given to Donald Duck, wherein he plays the part of an anti-hero, inspired by Doralick, the parody of the criminal Diabolik. Paperinik was a mashup of various types of superhero. He was masked and mysterious, like the French character Fantomas, and his reliance on gadgets over powers brings to mind the likes of Batman. In the Phantom Duck's origin story, we find Donald Duck has inherited an abandoned villa outside of Duckburg, the Villa Rosa. We also learn the ownership papers were meant to go to his cousin Gladstone, but Donald decides not to write the mistake. When he and his nephews go to check the villa out, Donald finds the diary of Phantom Mallard, a gentleman burglar and occasional vigilante who had owned the villa many years ago. He finds the old Phantom Mallard costume and learns how his predecessor maintained a secret identity by pretending to be foppish during the day, yet brilliant and daring at night under the guise of his masked alter ego. Inspired to use what he's found to enact vengeance against his overbearing Uncle Scrooge and arrogant cousin Gladstone, Donald takes the diary and its various notes on the gadgets Phantom Mallard had used to his friend Gyro Gearloose. Gyro equips Donald with a utility belt and special boots based on the diary's designs, and even gives Donald some additional equipment for his car. Donald's first act as the Phantom Duck is to knock out his Uncle Scrooge with a sleeping drug, steal his mattress, which contains $1 million in small bills, and frame Gladstone for the theft. When Scrooge wakes and finds out what happened, he, Gladstone, and the police track the thief to Villa Rosa. Gladstone attempts to prove his innocence by going into the villa and finding evidence, but going against his usual natural luck, the candle he grabs is actually a stick of dynamite, which blows the villa sky high. The mattress was likewise destroyed, and the money scatters all over the property. To Scrooge, this proves Gladstone's guilt, but he decides not to press charges as long as Gladstone can gather every last dollar. Pleased with the outcome of his little trick, Donald decides he needs to continue as the Phantom Duck. Eventually, the writers chose to take Paperinik in a different direction. At first, it had been amusing to watch Donald take revenge on those that had wronged him, but it was evident he was headed down the path to villainy, and that wasn't where anyone wanted Donald to go. After some time, he stopped avenging himself and instead began taking down Duckburg's criminal population, particularly the Beagle Boys, though he did come up against bigger names on occasion. By the time America got their hands on Donald Duck's adventures as a superhero, in the 2000s three-part story The Secret Origin of the Duck Avenger, he was already well into serving the public rather than himself. The new version of the Phantom Duck erased the villa story and instead showed us a new beginning, where Donald Duck meets a futuristic AI on an unmarked floor in Scrooge's recently purchased Duck Lair Tower in downtown Duckburg. Uno, this mysterious AI, provides Donald with the inventions his previous owner, Everett Ducklair, had created. Donald uses this new technology to fight new villains, such as the alien Evronians. The funny thing is, Donald isn't the only member of his family that has a superhero alter ego. Some of his cousins, Feathery Duck, Gladstone Gander, and Gus Goose, also have superhero personas. Feathery is the Red Bat, Gladstone is Cloverleaf, and Gus is Iron Gus. Even Daisy has a superhero persona, Super Daisy, or Paperinika. As far as I'm aware, the only Duck family member to actually appear as a superhero in animation, rather than the comics, is actually Scrooge McDuck, as the Masked Mallard in one episode of the DuckTales show. For you Duck fans that might be interested in checking out the Duck Avenger comics, I suggest looking into the original run first before checking out the newer stuff. I think Donald's characterization in the original fits a little better, and I prefer the simpler villains compared to the alien threat prevalent in the more recent run. I'm also far more fond of the rounder, softer art style compared to the sharp, stark edges of the new style. For those of you who are already familiar with the comics, what do you prefer? Let me know down below, and I'll see you next time, Duck fans.